Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to go through a quick presentation of and definition of graphology and tell you in what way it can be useful. So, what is graphology? To sum it up, we can say that graphology is a precious tool to analyze and understand the human psyche. Okay? So graphology, also called handwriting analysis, is of course the observation of the handwriting. And what is important in the handwriting is to know what style of handwriting the writer has been taught. Because it is the personalization of these model that he learned that will tell us about his personality. So we really need to know what was his in what kind of school and what country and at what time, because the style of handwriting has evolved through time. He learned it. Okay. So, also the handwriting is an expressive psychomotor activity. Okay, it's an amalgam of psychological and neurological physiological processes. And each handwriting is unique and reflects its writer's personality. Okay, that's in a unique way that you will personalize, deform, make different the shape of the letters, the way you learn them, not only the shape of the letters. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But what is important in what way did you make it evolve from what you learned at the beginning? And this is something that, yes, every handwriting is unique, and you can, of course, you know that, I think, but you can verify that very easily by comparing different people's handwritings. And even if sometimes they look a little bit alike, if you look closely, you'll see that they are different. Okay? Maybe in some small ways, but there are differences. So, what can we learn from the handwriting analysis? What can we expect from it? No, that's we can expect a portrait of the person according to his personality. But I go into that a little bit later on. Right now, I want to tell you how it works, the handwriting analysis. First, we have to observe the handwriting and then interpret the variables. So we have to collect all the different variables about this handwriting. Is it big? Is it small? Is it spaced out or very close? The letters are close to each other. And these variables are can be divided into different constituents of the handwriting, which are the stroke first. Okay, the stroke, it's really the trail that you left, that the ink of your pen will leave on the page, and it can be even doodles or drawings or whatever. Each person will do this in a unique way. Some will push the pen hard into the paper, others will just brush it off just very softly. Some stroke will be wide, others will be very thin, and there are many other variables in the stroke that have to be observed, and that will have a meaning, will make you, will account for different personality traits, whether it's according to the kind of stroke that you have. So this is the first thing that we can observe, and that usually people who don't practice graphology will not pay attention to. So the form is what it's another constituent of the handwriting. It's what we pay the more attention to. It's what we see the most easily. It's the way you trace your I or your A or your B, the shape of the letters. mostly. It's what really strikes people usually, but it's only one part of the handwriting, and it can be very different from one person to the other. Okay. Then there is a movement. The movement is a little bit less easy to spot and to observe, and it takes a long time. Yes, that's also something I wanted to say, that the handwriting analysis, it's a very complex process, and it takes a lot of time to learn it. It's difficult, it's complicated, and because there are many variables that can be observed, and then you have to put them together and see in what way it goes. What are the most important ones? You have to prioritize which ones are will play the biggest role in the personality and so on. So it has to be interpreted. That's not an easy task either. And then the fourth constituent is the space. Space is the way you put your text on the page, meaning do you have margins? How are your margins? Or you just write everywhere? Is there a lot of blank on the page? Are the words well, how is the space between the words, between the lines, between the letters inside the word? All this has to be looked at and examined very closely, and it will have different interpretations. Okay, so these are the main constituents of the handwriting. There's a lot to observe. It's really and it has to be really the whole of the handwriting that is examined, and not sorry, it's getting cold here. It's not just one letter, you know. You cannot just say, oh, my T-bars are this way, so this means this and that. No, you have to look at the whole handwriting. Of course, we will look at the T-bars or the shape of this or that letter, but it's at the end, and it will go either it will confirm something in the rest of the writing, or it will contradict it, and it has to be balanced with the rest of the handwriting. It's not just one small letter or isolated shape in the handwriting that will give you personality traits. It doesn't work this way. Okay, so the writer's portrait will draw a picture of the strong and weaker aspects of a person, you know, and it will usually it's made into three parts. You know, we will examine or tell about the way you think, the way you act, and the way you relate to others. So, well, the way you think, it's, for example, are you rational or irrational? Are you more comfortable with analysis or synthesis? Are you pragmatic or more of a dreamer? Do you have strong beliefs, or can you be influenced easily? How is your concentration, and so on. Now, these are just a few examples. There are many other elements that we can tell about. So how you act, are you quick, slow, dynamic, you're very much involved in what you do or not so, you're bold, hesitant, maybe stubborn, flexible, do you have willpower, perseverance, ambition? All this we can tell from the handwriting. And then we will examine how you relate to others. So it means, well, are you more of an introvert or an extrovert, sociable or shy? Are you caring for others? Do you have strong feelings or emotions? Are you very emotional? Are you straightforward, passionate? All this will, how do you interact with others? All this will be also examined and will play part in the portrait. So, in what way can it be useful to have some handwriting analysis? Well, there are many ways can be useful, of course. First, for self-knowledge, personal growth, your handwriting can give you access to an in-depth personality assessment and make you aware of your personal strengths and weaknesses, thus helping you decide which path to choose. For example, if you hesitate between different directions you could go to, well, it can be interesting to know this and to work on your weak elements, weak points. Also, it's very interesting to look at the way you evolved. If you have handwriting from the past, and you can compare it with today, it shows you the evolution that you had through your life. Well, handwriting analysis can also help finding the perfect match, whether for business or love, finding the right person to associate with can be helped with by comparing their personalities through their handwritings. Okay, so it's often used in recruitment or human resources to help choosing the right person for the right job. It's made easier by assessing their personalities through graphology and thus avoiding mismatches. And also another one that I'm very fond of is genealogy or psychogenealogy. You can, if you're interested in your ancestors and you want to work on your family tree, well, sometimes we don't know much about our ancestors, but we have letters or notes from them. And in this case, we can learn more about their personality through handwriting analysis. So that's very interesting too. Then we have also two other ways to use the handwriting. It's, I'm sorry, excuse me. So we have graphotherapy. It is a way to help children or adults whose handwriting is not efficient, whether it be illegible or too slow or too tiring, and maybe it hurts the fingers or the hand or even the arm. So these are all dysgraphia symptoms, and you can have others. So if you have this problem, or if your child has it, there are exercises that you can practice to help you to get to have a more easier and more legible handwriting. So that's another way. It's not a graphology, but it's related to the handwriting. And another use is also forensic handwriting analysis. Well, this is a comparison between a question document and the known handwriting of a suspected writer to establish whether or not the suspected writer wrote the question documents. So it is a very detailed, precise examination of the handwritings, and to see and try to know for sure who wrote what. So this is often used in court or for police investigations. Okay, so well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please like and subscribe, and don't hesitate to write comments below, ask questions. I'll be glad to answer. Have a nice day. Bye bye.